Hello, everybody. Ha Happy Halloween! I don't know what's more scarier. I don't know. I'm a doctor, so maybe I'll perform surgery. If I can see, where's the table? Where's the scalpel? Scalpel, please. No. Okay. We're live, guys. We're live. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. We are Rumble Pop live, guys. Live. My name is Donald, of course, and I'm going to have Kevin introduce everybody quickly, briefly, and then I'm going to do some stuff in the background, and then we're going to get started. So, Kevin, why don't you introduce everybody and tell us what we're doing here exactly? What are we doing?
Yes, indeed. Good evening, dark evening to all of you in the 24 time zones on planet Earth. Welcome to the most horrific, most ghoulish, and most gruesome live stream on YouTube, Rumble Pop. And now I introduce you to my co-conspirators and co-fiends for the evening. First, the man in that bizarre Dr. Wily wig, the man who is DC Comics for life, a man who's trying to be a nerdy dentist, a man when he lays his hands upon the lovely ladies, he blesses them with his love. He was the number 2 best looking man in West Hollywood and North Hollywood.
Thanks, Kevin.
Dr. Donald McKinney.
Thank you. I'm performing operations all day, so, when you're ready.
Next, we go to a man who is wearing a special toga and a special crown, a Greek crown. He's from the great state of Michigan, but now resides in that beautiful state of Texas. He is today. We will show him respect. We will call him Caesar. Yes, we'll call him Caesar and Professor Chris D. Turr. And last, but certainly not least, a man who comes from that beautiful state of Ohio. A man who has brought masculinity back to professional wrestling. A man who cannot be stopped. A man, if you cross that line, you cross this man, you may end up with multiple contusions. Give respect to the one, the only, the greatest horror movie fan of Halloween series. He is Mr. John Lee. And of course, I am your humble servant, but for tonight, I am the Dark Lord of the Sith, your Supreme Chancellor, Brother Kevin. Yes.
Mr. Sean says, if I could read this correctly, he says, is everybody oh, dear God, what is this? And Sammy says, greetings, foolish mortals. I think that's what she said. And wow, Donald, good luck for you. Yes. I get all the ladies. Yes. Yes, they allow me to put my hands all over them and perform surgery.
What kind of surgery?
I don't know. I don't know what this is for. Hello?
Well, I guess I'm
that's
not going to do my sex change.
That's the test. That's like a stethoscope. You do understand that, right?
What? Yes, that's my last name, yes.
Dr. Stethoscope.
Professor Dr. Stethoscope, sir, thank you.
I see.
That's what I go by, yes. Yes. Okay. What are we talking about? What are we talking about today?
We are talking about the most horrific, the most terrible, the most unhonorable sequels to horror movies over the last 40 years. And actually even more than that.
Yeah.
Past 50 years. There are so many of them, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. There's literally hundreds of bad horror movie sequels. And you, the audience, can tell us some of your favorite, worst horror movie sequels. But before we do that, we must give respect. We must allow His Highness, Caesar Turner, to spill that most righteous and most delicious of sweet tea.
Ooh. I
Not
like
sweet tea, I'm diabetic.
Yeah, but I like sweet tea.
Unsweetened tea. How's that?
Well, it's hot tea, but thank you.
All right.
Just plain, straight out. Today I'm drinking green tea. Today we are going to talk about the Halloween of Halloweenists locations, and that is Salem, Massachusetts.
Ooh, the witches.
Yes, and Salem, Massachusetts is a really cool place to go during the Halloween time. They do a whole the whole town kind of like turns into this big like celebration, this big fair, and there's like parades and like costume parades, and there's like all these like rides and like a festival, a carnival almost. It's super busy time of year. Of course, in Salem, it's like the busiest time. Like you go there and it's super busy, so expect crowds when you go. During the week is better than the weekends. However, what I really want to talk about is I want to talk about a travel hack for Salem, how to do it a lot cheaper. Most of Salem's money comes from the end of September through the beginning of November for Halloween, and so if you go there during that time, there aren't a lot of hotels, and they are very expensive during this time of year. However, there is a secret where you can make a cheap Salem trip, and that is if you go to Boston, you can go stay in a hotel in Boston, and you can take a train. There's a train that goes from Boston to Salem, not like a Amtrak train, but like it's their commuter train.
Ooh.
It's like $10, half hour to get there. Like it's really simple. You just go stay in any hotel in Boston, and then take the train into Salem. Much easier, and a lot cheaper. So if you're planning on going to Salem, that's one way to do it. If you don't want to, if you either can't book a room because they're booked up because of some people, or you want to save some money, it's a good way to do it. Even with this paying $18 round trip, it's still cheaper than probably what you pay for a hotel room in Salem. But yeah, there's cool things to do. There is lots of museums. There is lots of old historic houses. When I was looking at the website, there was a guy dressed like Predator. So there's people that dress up and in the costumes. You take pictures with them and stuff like that. There's a witch museum. A lot of cool stuff. There. Yeah. So if you're interested in going to Salem, you know where to find me. I can help you hook you up.
And what kind of discounts are you offering, sir? 20%? 30%?
It depends. It depends on where they want to stay. There's always discount. Well, not always discounts, but there's always benefits, free benefits. There's always it depends on the hotel. Like I said, it depends on. I found really cheap airplane tickets today for somebody for $200 round trip. So they're, it's just where you look, when it is, timing. There's no guaranteed discounts, but the discounts could be there. It just depends on situation and whatnot. But you get a lot of extras when you book through me. So.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Caesar Turner.
Yes. And what's the name of your site again?
You can go to www.luxrallytravel.com/Chris Turner.
RALLEY?
Yeah, like rally. Like rally.
LuxRally.com.
LuxRallyTravel.com.
LuxRallyTravel.com/Chris Turner?
Yep.
Boom. There you go. I'm going to pop that up on the screen for everybody to see. And there you are. If you want to book a travel, a flight, or usually like a vacation package, he works his best magic with those. Talk to Chris. LuxRallyTravel.com/Chris Turner.
Okay, Greco-Roman brother up.
Yep. Yep, we all thought he was very pretty today, Chris. You look very nice.
You affirm.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So,
Are you?
we've talked about travel, and
Yes.
while travel is great, it's not pulling out.
Oh.
Okay. All right. All right. We're going to talk about some books. I was able to, even as jam-packed as my week was and my weekend, I was still able to read 3 salacious tales of terror and naughtiness. I'm going to talk about a few books that I've read. They were all kind of horrorish or horrific or sci-fi related. First one I read was actually probably my favorite one, and that's Skin Police. Skin Police. What's Skin Police, you might ask? Well, it sounds like a porno. It's not. It's basically talking about there is a within the world, they found that people were becoming infertile, and they were less and less likely to have children. So in order to counter this, they started the clone program. Only problem with the clone program is that some of these clones will eventually turn psychopathic. They'll have some type of mental breakdown, and they'll think that they're being attacked by zombies, and they will pull out their knife or whatever they could find and start stabbing on a bus, in a plane, train, out on the street, in a crowded mall, anywhere and anything. Anything like that could happen at any time. So in order to combat this, they test you when you go into buildings to find out if you are a clone. And if you are a clone, they call the division that deals with clones, aka nicknamed the Skin Police. And it's all about a girl on the run who they think might be a clone. She doesn't even know. And they're just guessing at this point, and they're after her. And that's basically where it starts. And it's pretty good. You know, I'm getting Blade Runner vibes, hardcore, from this, but mixed with some Fifth Element feel as well, which is why I like it more than Blade Runner, actually, because I enjoy Fifth Element more than I did Blade Runner. You know, and you can hate me or not, I don't care. But I give this one probably about a 7.5. I think it's got really good potential. It's a lot of fun, and it was jam-packed with action and intrigue. So check it out if you get a chance. Skin Police. It is by Ani Press, and I believe it's $4.99. So if you have a few extra bucks, grab it while you can. It's very good. By the way, my mom and dad are on. Everybody say hi to my mom and dad.
Hello, Mom and Dad.
Hi,
McKinney.
Mom and Dad. I didn't say that earlier, and I'm sorry. Sammy says, no, not that. Anything but that. Sammy doesn't like it when I pull out. Go figure. What are you going to do?
It's a frightening thing, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now I read this other book. I don't know. I don't get it. It's okay. It's Night of the Slashers. Now, it looks cool, right?
Those look cool.
It looks dope. It looks like the coolest freaking thing ever. But it's not. You read it, and it just doesn't make sense. You don't know who half these characters are. They don't explain the characters. I think this is supposed to be a dude, but he looks so much like a woman the way he's drawn. I'm confused as to, like, okay, I understand there's all the genders in the world now. But when I'm reading something, I would kind of like to know sometimes when they're calling somebody John or Chip or Jeff or Jerry or Joe or whatever, all the J's, with Chip thrown in for good measure, who exactly we're dealing with. You know, I kind of want the lay of the land, the measure of what scenario we're putting ourselves in. You know, if this character happens to go into the bathroom, into the women's room, and it's a dude, then I know that that's probably not a good thing that's going to happen in this story. But I don't know. It's just stuff like this over and over to where the art is not amazing. The story, it's these kids are there for school. They get put in this mansion. And it's this town, and in this town, apparently everybody, all the townsfolk, lock themselves up in cages at night because they turn into horrific monsters. Had it been told differently, it could have been a really cool story. Because just look at the end right there. Spoilers. But had they had told this story correctly, it would have been really cool. Even the tagline, "Welcome to Hill Creek, now get out before it's too late." I mean, that's very basic horror stuff. But just the way it's written, man, I can't go higher than like a 4 or 5. I just don't, it's how much is this thing? It's $3.99, so it's not super expensive. I guess if you have a few extra bucks, try it out, but it's a real big letdown for me. I was hoping for so much more. I was hoping for a Maniac of New York style story, which was crazy good, and I got nothing like that. So I would pass on it if I were you, but if you were bored, then you could get it. One thing I would definitely not pass on, because I wouldn't even pick it up. I would never even look its way, and that is Something Crawled Out by Vault Comics. And you're damn right, it crawled out and escaped. This thing should have been buried, burned, done something with it. Some satanic ritual should have happened to where it should have been sacrificed to the gods of good stories so that something good could have come out of this. It is terrible. It's this girl and her friend, who she keeps saying is the devil and can convince people to do things. He does do it once, and then they never talk about it really again, but then she keeps bringing up that he's a devil. And then they get chased in a convenience store by this dude with glasses who then suddenly disappears. That's the whole story. This is like a 2. This is bad. This is not something to read. This is, if your table's wobbly, you put it underneath. Fold it in half if you have to kind of even it out, because that is the value of this book, is to be handy for things like that. Otherwise, just don't bother. Don't bother. This was terrible. So this is terrible. This is not very good. This is the one you're going to want to get, Skin Police. So at least 1 out of 3 isn't the worst thing in the world when it comes to reading comic books. It's better than 0 out of 3, I could tell you that. And I've officially pulled out on all of you. Where'd he go? Where did he go? Where's everybody? Kevin? Kevin, are you there? Where's Kevin?
He's hiding.
Oh, there he is. There he is. He's hiding. Yeah, he's hiding. So we're going to be talking about really bad horror sequels. Horror sequels that are just pretty much permanent trash. And that's unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. Some of these, we compiled a huge list. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a ginormous list. And a lot of things on here I could either agree with or disagree with, and there's a lot of reasons why behind each one. But we're going to go through some. We're just going to pull some from the list. And each of us are, if we've seen it, we're going to have an opinion. If we haven't, then we're going to keep, our opinions kind of close to our vest, because we won't know what's going on because we haven't seen it. So we're going to be doing that. And as we go along, you guys in the chats, if you want to chime in, feel free. And we're going to have a blast. So let's get started. Del Mountain says the last Exorcism was so horrible that it didn't even deserve a sequel. Was that the one with Russell Crowe?
No, I think that wasn't the Exorcist or something, or the Exorcists.
Oh, the Pope's Exorcist?
Pope's Exorcist, yeah.
Oh, okay. The last Exorcism, what one was that one?
I
think
remember
that was the sequel to The Exorcist, wasn't it? Or the new sequel that just came out like last year or something?
No, that was Exorcist Believer.
Oh.
That was what?
Yeah. Exorcist Believer. That was the sequel to The Exorcist, basically.
There's so many exorcism movies, like the Exorcism of Emily Rose. I mean, it's so, I get confused. There's so many of these exorcism movies.
The Last Exorcism, yeah. That's Eli Roth produced that, so this will make sense why it wasn't very good.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Oh yeah, that guy was full of himself. Remember he came to the ArcLight one day when they debuted.
What a cocky prick, huh?
What's the one? Gosh, Hostel 2.
Hostel, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They were like way full of themselves when they were in the dome. They thought they were just the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Do we have that up? Do we have that listed, Kevin?
What's funny? Now that I said it, I forgot about it.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? I can send the photo while we're talking.
Nah, don't worry about it. I'll just type it in.
All right.
Hostel
Part 2.
part. Oops. I can't see very well.
Boy, wearing weird glasses. Of course you can't.
Yeah, I know, right? A little hard. A little hard to see. We'll put that right over here near you, Kevin, and you can talk about how terrible it is. Wasn't there a penis in there or something?
Yeah.
Wasn't
There was. As a matter of fact, the scene that disturbed the heck out of me was Lady Bath. There was like a Lady Bathory scene. You remember that, John?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I was like, okay, they really are taking it to the limit here.
Yes, they did.
And that's an historic person who was literally the definition of evil. Killed many servants, killed people in her, basically in her area, and she was a cousin to Vlad the Impaler, interestingly enough. But that was during a period of time where, if you're like the lord or lady or king or queen of a kingdom, you can literally do whatever you want with your servants, as long as you don't mess with people that are of your fellow upper class bloodlines. Then it's cool. That's what got her in trouble when she messed with a noble person's daughter. Then they put a stop to it. But she's probably one of the most notorious mass murderers of all time, or serial killers of all time, in a literal sense.
In a literal sense, meaning that she was
Yes.
written on the printed
Yes.
page.
Yes.
Right.
Well, no, that's more like literary.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that movie Hostel 2 definitely pushed the boundaries, shall we say?
Oh yeah.
The last exorcism was back in 2009, says Del Mountain. Okay, gotcha.
But I don't remember. It's one of those movies. I know, but I don't know. I don't know. Like
Frank
Kevin said,
says- Go ahead.
so many.
Frank says, hello, I think that A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 was a dud. It never made
Yep.
sense to me that Freddy Krueger lost one of his gloves in that film. That remained lost in every subsequent film.
Well, we do have the photo for that. We do have Elm Street 2 in our.
Well, let's bring it up. Why he brought it up. Let's bring it up. Let me see if I can find it.
John,
come on,
I think it was on your list, John, right?
Yeah. You come off such a good original movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Wes Craven puts it out, good movie. You get this dream demon Freddy that's killing folks in their dreams and stuff. And I thought, I like it. Everybody pretty much seems to. You guys all like Nightmare on Elm Street as far as the original goes?
Yeah.
Of course, it's one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
I mean-
horror-movie-wise, yeah.
I don't think the lead was any good at all. I think she was terrible.
Heather Langenkamp, you thought was terrible?
I think she's a terrible actor. Yeah.
Wow, would you tell that to her face?
Yeah.
Wow.
I tagged her on this. She's watching right now.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know that's Johnny Depp's first film.
So,
Yeah. Yes,
Well,
it
it's very
was.
important.
congratulations,
But I-
Johnny.
You get into that sequel and it just didn't make any sense at all, man. Like I don't.
Well, they were trying something different.
Yeah. But have you noticed though, anything you watch, and I'm not saying this to be like a jerk or anything, but like it gets a very strong gay tone from it. Like the whole movie. itself.
Actually, it turns out there was truth to that. It turns out
yeah.
that it was intentional.
Yeah. And it's like almost everything about it. Like not just the main character who actually is gay in real life, but like what about the scene in the nightclub where everybody's dressed in all the leather and stuff
Or
And
the
then
scene
there's-
in the shower.
yeah. You got the coach like beating his bare ass and stuff. Like what the hell was going on with that? Like a lot of shit just didn't make sense, right?
Or the line is, "You got the body, I got the brains."
I think good it came out of that with the song from Will Smith. I mean, let's be honest. Like Nightmare on My Street was like the best thing that came out of that whole thing. My favorite scene of the whole movie though is the party at towards the end.
Oh, that was great.
When
I
when he
love that
shows up at the
scene.
party, and the dude was like, "Hey, I can help you," and he said, "Help yourself, fucker." Like
Yeah.
that was
That was great. I love it. That was so good.
best part. But I will say this much, and I know it's definitely not on the horrible list at all, but thankfully part 3 picked up and made it so much better because that was my favorite one in the whole series.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, 1 and 3 are my 1A and 1B myself. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely, man. Like, thank God 3 was good because 2 was just a bummer, man.
Yeah, you got Lawrence Fishburne. You have what's her name? The sister of the guy in Scream.
Pamela Greer.
What?
No.
Dewey, Deputy Dewey's sister, Patricia Arquette.
Courtney
Patricia
Love.
Arquette.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, Patricia Arquette.
I was close.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne played an orderly, because he didn't believe, the kids were telling the truth about, the dreams. Part 3 is probably the best written of all the Elm Street movies. Come to think of it,
I agree. I agree. And the
Dream
most
Warriors is classic. Dream Warriors is good.
yes, and the most infamous scene, of course, is "Welcome to Primetime, bitch." Like that's.
Oh yes,
that's
of course. Was that was Zsa Zsa Gabor, right?
Yes.
Mm.
Yep. Yeah, part 2 was a bummer, man. Just not for me.
I mean, I don't hate it. Believe you me, I think 5 and 6 are much worse. To be honest with you.
See, I don't mind those. I don't know, man. Some of the stuff on this list like hurt my feelings because like I like them. Like Donald said, he's got that thing where like I like some of them, I don't like some of them, but I can tell you why I do and I don't.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about some of them. Like there's a lot of stuff on here that I love, and there's a lot of stuff on here that I'm just like, yeah, whatever, it's cool, because it's not good. It's not good at all.
Yes,
Right.
thank you, Frank. Yeah, the Kincaid character in 3 and 4. Yeah, he was cool. I like Kincaid. And
Yeah,
Kincaid
hell yeah.
wasn't afraid of Freddy, especially in part 4. He went out like a G. And remember what's the famous line for part 4? I'll see you in hell. Yeah, Tom Freddy sent you. That was great.
Yeah.
Although the beginning was pretty stupid, how Freddy came back in part 4. Basically, Kincaid's dog pisses fire on his grave. That's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life.
I don't really understand that concept. I mean,
Yeah.
Is that
Cocaine.
like I spit on your grave, I piss on your grave, and you come back to life? Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's just weird.
Well, it's disrespectful. It's seen as a sign of disrespect. So
Well, that's true. It is.
if you disrespect the grave and somebody under there is very much into being respected and feared, they're going to come back for you.
See, that makes sense.
So
I like it.
I get that. I mean, that's going to be me.
Oh man.
What? Someone's gonna piss on your grave with fire?
I don't know. Maybe. Why? I can't tell you. How would I know someone's going to piss on my grave with fire?
You were kind of implying that was going to happen.
Nuh-uh. I wasn't implying anything. I was just saying stuff.
Donald, do you want me to pee on your grave? I'll do it.
Only if it's fire. If you can piss flames onto my grave, that would be great.
Sure.
You eat some of that.
I actually probably
There we go.
won't have one, right? Kevin, aren't you going to just throw me in the trash? Didn't we talk about this?
Oh yeah, the James Bond scene. Come
Yeah.
on now, that's ridiculous.
You're going to bond me. You're going to just throw me in the trash. Take my wallet first, though.
The scene from Quantum of Solace. I know it wasn't meant to be funny, but my God, that thing had me cracking up for like 5 straight minutes. He just threw his buddy who was helping him out, just threw the dude's body in the trash and took his wallet. I was like, wow, man. But friends like that.
That's rough, man.
Yeah, you seriously, man. Jeez. That's what you knew, that Daniel Craig was a Bond not to be messed with. Good Lord, you do that to your friends, man. Imagine what he does to his enemies.
Very true.
Yeah, he's not a very nice guy sometimes. I think they made that pretty apparent in that series of films. He's not the best dude. Not the best dude. Let's talk about something else here. Let's see. Oh,
Donald?
here's a good one. Aliens versus Predator Requiem.
Yep, there's some mixed results on that one.
I don't think I watched them.
They're in like that town in Colorado, I think. It's like a small town. They kind of corner it off, and I think they're about to nuke it at some point because of the.
Aren't they
infestation of-
underground? Aren't they underground? Like it's like a cave down in that town? Or am I wrong? Or was that the one before it?
Well, the one before it, they're like in Antarctica or something like that.
Yeah,
That's
I don't remember
right.
that.
Yeah, I remember that one. Okay. I watched
Yeah, that-
both of these
that-
this year, by the way, and I can barely remember them.
Really?
That should tell you a lot about these movies and how not so great they were. Who directed them? The same guy that directed Resident Evil?
Yes, I believe so. Paul. The other Paul Anderson, Paul W.S. Anderson. I think he directed the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Second
think
one
it-
was directed by Greg Strauss and Colin Strauss.
Oh,
Okay,
the
so
Strausses.
brothers.
Strauss
The
brothers. They also make good hot dogs, right? Strauss hot
I
dogs?
would.
Strauss sausages, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. If we're coming over to your house, you better have yourself some Strauss sausages. I think it's
Yeah, then it had
That's how
the,
it went.
it had the alien predator hybrid called the Predalien.
Oh yes, that's right. They did a hybrid with this one. I remember now. It was the dumbest fucking thing. They gave the alien dreadlocks. You know how the predator has the dreads on the on the helmet and stuff. They gave the alien that's not wearing a helmet the dreadlocks.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this one. I just watched the new one last night. It was okay.
Oh, the one that just came out in theaters.
The new aliens.
It was
Romulus.
alright.
Romulus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Romulus wasn't so bad. They basically took elements from the first two movies, as well as even a little bit of Alien Resurrection too, for that matter.
It was all right. That thing at the I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but
All right.
the feature at the end was a little frightening. Like I would not want to run into that. You know, I get
All
it.
right. All right.
Yeah, that was an actual dude too. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that was kind
Another guy in
Oh,
costume.
really?
Yeah.
of shit. Wow.
That's pretty
Surprised.
cool. That's pretty cool.
I'm performing an experiment for science.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you are.
If you take this Oktoberfest and you pour it into this glass, like so, right? There we go. And you take a sip. What'll happen? Deliciousness, that's what'll happen.
There it is.
It's good. It's good. Oktoberfest from AleSmith. AleSmith's a good brand. They don't sponsor us, so that's all they get. I'm not talking about them anymore. Fuck right off. Give us some money, though, and Kevin, suck your old dick. You know what I'm saying?
What'd you say?
Nothing.
You don't want to know.
Yeah. Nothing at all. Nothing, sir. I'm not talking about anything.
Anything you say should volunteer yourself.
Janet says, "Hi, everyone. Kevin, I love your insights." Oh,
Thank you.
no, it's insides. I'm sorry. That's awkward. Wait,
Insights.
hang on.
Insights.
Oh, insights. Okay, so it is insights. Okay, cool. I just, ooh, these glasses, man. Let me tell you, I can't see everything all the time. And Frank's saying hello to Jana. Aw, brother and sister talking together.
Oh.
It's so cute.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, Ward's here. Yo, what slashing horror fanatics? What's up, dude? How are you?
What's up?
It's time for your checkup.
Uh-oh.
I don't hear anything. I think you're dead. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Just gotta find you here. There you are, Ward. There you are. Hi, how are you? Ooh. Let me just straighten that. Ooh, there we go. We'll do that. I'll be at a slant. That's kind of cool, huh?
Does look good. It's kind of.
It looks like I'm. Yeah, I'm a little trippy now. I'm freaking myself out. This is great. I'm in on this. Yep. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. It's spectacular. Okay. Moving on. All right. Next film.
Got anything, Caesar Turner?
Sure he does. He wants to talk about, let me find it. Troll 2.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
yes. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Now,
boy.
let's say
I've never even seen the first Troll, let alone Troll 2.
let's talk about Troll 2 because Troll 1 wasn't very good, let's be honest. Troll 1 was not a great film by any means.
See? Damn it.
You liked
Like,
Troll?
is that the movie with Justin Timberlake and Anna
No,
Kendrick?
No. One's Phil Fondacaro and was it Sonny Bono for like a hot
Oh,
second.
so not Trolls 2.
No.
No, that's
I didn't know this
the
movie.
Universal series. I think that's still going.
Yeah.
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 No, not that, sir.
Oh, okay.
Troll
Yeah,
2
that's more
was-
my speed.
These are definitely different. So Troll was Troll itself. Like the Troll, like to me, had a cool look to it. But then you get to Troll 2 and they all look like Grady from Sanford and Son. And I didn't really understand why. But like the whole thing was they're in this town called Nilbog, right? And when you obviously look in the mirror of the car, it's goblin spelled backwards. But the movie made zero sense, like to anything from the first one. Nothing at all. What was the documentary called, Donald? That was like basically trashing the whole movie.
Oh yeah.
Best movie or something like that.
Yeah, the best worst movie ever made or something like that. I think is what it was called.
Was it the dad character went out on like all these convention tours and stuff and was meeting fans that actually loved the movie
Yeah.
and got burned out towards the end. Like he was done with it, man. He was just done. And I don't know, man. It's one of those movies. It's got a cult following. Let's be honest. Somehow it's got a cult following, but it's awful. It's just awful. There's nothing good about the movie at all. It's not good.
The best
not
part
good.
about it is the town is called Neilbog,
Yeah.
and that's what was it?
Yeah.
It's Hobgoblin or Goblin turned around, right? Goblin turned around as Neilbog, backwards. Yeah. So there is very inventive. It was done by a gentleman that was not from the U.S., if I recall. He was the producer slash director. I think he was Italian, Claudio something.
Okay.
Had a decent budget, $4 to $5 million.
Really?
Which, yeah, freaking believe it or not.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You would spend 20 on it and say fuck the rest? Like,
I think
He
so.
embezzled the money. Probably embezzled the money.
Yeah. Let me show a small clip here. I'm gonna pull it up, but because this deserves you guys seeing this. I'm just gonna show it on my phone so we don't get busted.
oh, is this the Kiss on Hospitality line?
Mm-hmm. Well, we're
Yes.
gonna go with the young kid's response to what he's seeing.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm. There we go. It's the best. I don't know if you can see this.
They're eating her,
Move the phone up a little bit.
and then they're going to eat me.
There we go. A little higher.
Oh my
That's
god!
the entire movie right there. That's it. That's all you need to see.
Yeah, you didn't really. You just needed to hear it more than see it, to be honest. Just his response. They're eating her, and then they're going to eat me. Oh my god!
What about the Grandpa Seth character that just randomly pops up in the mirror and shit? Like, why?
No reason. No reason. Yeah.
No,
No.
not at all.
Their whole description is when young Joshua, Michael Stevenson, learns that he will be going on vacation with his family to a small town called Nilbog, he protests adamantly. He is warned by the spirits of his deceased grandfather that goblins populate the town. His parents, Michael George Hardy, which is the father, I believe, that was the dentist, that played the dentist, or that was a dentist and played Michael, and Diane Margot Prey dismissed his apprehensions, but soon learned to appreciate their son's warnings. Guided by his grandfather's ghost, will Joshua and his family stand a chance in fighting off these evil beings? It's really bad. But George Hardy, yeah, he's a cool dude. I met him in years ago when the documentary was circulating. He came to Los Angeles at the New Art Theater off Santa Monica over on the west side. And I went to go see the documentary, and it was really fun. And he was super nice, and he was super excited, actually, to be there
Nice.
because it had gotten renewed interest. And he poured a fair amount of his own money into that production. I think he gave him like $1 million or something. Like
Damn.
an insane amount of his own money. And then he's like, Jesus Christ, what is this shit, you know? But then it came back around, and it had its little renaissance, He was super proud of it, super happy, and enjoyed the tour, enjoyed his time until, of course, probably near the end there. But Troll 2 goes down in infamy as being the best, worst film of all time.
Yeah. Very true.
Sammy says, Donald, your hair is giving Andy Warhol.
Yeah, it does.
Perhaps I'll
It
paint
does,
you like
actually.
one of my French girls, Sammy.
No, actually, he did like Coke bottles. And,
Well, I'll do some
I'm
Coke
sorry,
then.
I'm sorry, Coke cans and.
I'll do cocaine.
Um,
Wait, what?
Oh. No, he would draw like
I don't want to do cocaine,
the
Kevin.
pop art he would do was like Coke cans and.
So
things
he
of
would
that
do.
nature.
He did paintings, and on the
Yeah.
paintings were pop art like Coke cans and Campbell soup labels and things like that.
Yes.
But I could
Yes.
still paint her like one of my French girls, Kevin. Even
with
if,
her.
even if I was Andy Warhol, it would just be on the can of like Star Kiss Tuna or something.
I don't think Sammy wants you to paint her like a French girl. I don't think.
Oh,
she'd
I bet she
appreciate that.
does.
Now she does like France. That's true.
Yeah.
But I don't think.
She's a big fan of France, so she would want me to paint her like one of my French girls, Kevin. Thank you very much. Sammy,
So
tell
she's a
Kevin
Franco-
I'm right and he's wrong.
So since she's a Francophile.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Magazine Retriever says, what's worse, the Troll series or the Leprechaun series?
Speaking
Troll
of which,
by far. Troll by far.
Yeah. Control.
But we're gonna stop, put a pin in the comments here, and we're gonna pull up because Kevin's just gonna bring it up here. So Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, I have two of them. I might as well go back to back: Leprechaun in Space and Leprechaun in the Hood.
Oh, all right. So wait a minute. Leprechaun in the Hood. At least we got the cool rap song at the end, man.
That is true. And Ice-T, no doubt.
Why-
We got Lep in the Hood come to do no good. We got that, and that's fun. Other than that, terrible ass movie. You're not
Yes.
wrong.
The
Terrible.
Leprechaun
ass
in Space is just goes to another level. Oh
I mean,
my God,
yeah.
it goes to another level.
movie. Yeah,
Woo!
not good. It was like a crossover of like Alien. and-
Aliens, Star Wars, like
Yeah.
everything. Dude has a Leprechaun has a freaking lightsaber.
Yes.
That sounds amazing. What are you guys talking about?
They have Space Marines, and then you remember this part, John? When when Leprechaun, like, they're on the planet where they thought they killed him, blew him up with a grenade, and his spirit travels up the guy's urine stream and urethra to take to get into his body. Oh yes.
There was some interesting stuff going on in that movie. Yeah, it was. This is why they say every horror, in some case, every horror sequel should have a space movie, and they should not. They should not.
Oh yeah.
There's just no reason for it.
No. But explain this scene here. Why is the Leprechaun like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times the size of these people in this ship?
Well, he's a little magician, so it's one of his little tricks to intimidate his victims.
Well, he's got me intimidated. So they found gold in space?
Well, they wanted his gold, of course. Everyone wants his gold.
Right.
Sure.
There was a rainbow
funny.
in space?
Of course. Because the way the movie starts out, if I remember, John, he's on some remote planet. He's trying to get married to like an alien princess, and he wants her, her land and planet, and she wants his gold and jewels for herself. Which is, I'm trying to figure out. I guess aliens like gold and jewels as well on other planets. I just wasn't aware of that.
Mhm.
I guess, man. Women are gold diggers wherever you go. Nah, that's not no offense. to all.
Whoa!
Some,
whoa.
not all. Damn it, some.
Oh my God, brother!
I'm just saying, man. Like, did that movie not teach us that? Like you just said, even in
Yeah.
space, and they want the gold and the money and shit. So hey, I'm not saying all women are gold diggers. Just some, just
Yes,
just some.
apparently this movie is trying to say that it's a universal thing, quite literally, which I find disturbing. I find very disturbing.
Very much so.
And of course, as you see in the other photograph, the leprechaun is, I guess, taking a hit of a bong of some sort. I guess he's enjoying some marijuana with a brother there, with a homie.
Yes, he does tell you that a friend with weed is a friend indeed in that movie.
Oh yes, I do remember that.
These sound amazing. What are you guys talking about?
or what was the other one? Giving me shilling, or there may be a killing.
Right. Chris Rock's best, man.
I love this guy's limericks and rhymes. It's just wonderful, so wonderful. God bless Warwick Davis. God bless him.
So,
my goodness.
Frank
was
is.
Warwick Davis, was he the leprechaun in all the movies?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, all but the newest.
Yeah,
Right.
the
There was
reboot thing. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was a reboot. There's one that just came out a couple years ago, and it was a different person. But I don't know, man. It was kind of cool in a way because they brought back Ozzy from the first one, which was kind of cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they brought him back for that, and it was a different guy playing the Leprechaun, but it wasn't up to par of the original movie, but it was fun. It was like, I think it was a sci-fi original too, so that give or take,
No Jennifer Aniston.
No, I don't think she'd ever come back to that, ever.
No matter how, if her career got so bad, yeah. Hey, would you like to come back and do a Leprechaun sequel? She'd be like, no.
I don't think, no, man. She'd just go make a Netflix Adam Sandler movie and be happy. Like, she'd be good.
Yeah.
We couldn't
Yeah.
pay her $10 million to do another Leprechaun movie.
Out of all the Friends characters, though, I think the one that would have been most likely to do it right now is probably David Schwimmer, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
he's doing Goosebumps of all things. Like, that's supposed to be coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I just saw
Yeah.
that, so I was like, okay, so he's diving into the horror-esque world, so maybe he could lean into a Leprechauns film.
Oh, boy. That'd be something.
Yeah, but I mean, these look fun, guys. I don't know, they look fun.
No,
to
they
me.
are fun. I'm not saying like they're not fun at all. There's bad movies, but they are fun, no doubt.
Okay.
You will laugh your buns off. That's for sure.
All
You
right,
will laugh
gotcha.
hysterically.
So Scorch Frank wants to know, what is everyone dressing up like for Halloween this year?
Oh, jeez.
Well, don't you see?
I have no idea. I have a show that I have to do this Sunday coming. And it's like a retro thing, so we all have to dress like the old wrestlers. So I'm pulling out Haku and Dusty Rhodes for that.
Yes, you got to
With
do
your
that
hair?
dance. You have to do that dance, John.
Oh, I got, dude. I did it years ago back at the Shamrock, back when we were doing REPW back there, and that was like, I had so much fun doing that.
He's
So
the
much fun.
best. He's the best. You know, I still remember they did like a little clip of Dusty Rhodes, and he was fixing somebody's toilet.
Oh yeah, when he was doing the plumber gimmick. Yeah.
Yes, and they showed
Son of a-
the toilet was still full.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was so gross that it seared into my brain. I couldn't
That
believe
was
that they
it.
did that.
But so Vince, apparently they said that was more or less like Vince gave him that gimmick because he was offended by the fact that he wouldn't come to WWE back in the day.
Right.
So he chose like NWA and WCW because he was doing booking there and stuff. So when he finally did agree to come to WWE, Vince threw him this most
Humiliating.
stupid ass gimmick, put him in the polka dots, and Dusty completely owned it and ran with it, man. And I think it pissed Vince off, honestly, because he just ran with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
People
what?
love
He was supposed to have been the Hulk Hogan before
Yeah.
a Hulk Hogan. That was originally the intention.
He was the guy that they were actually going to put the title on, but then he chose to stay where he was at. Yeah.
Also, he won a Harley race as well. I think at one point early on, they didn't
Yeah.
get him.
Harley's run was pretty shitty too because he chose to kind of do his thing too. So like, sadly enough, those guys could have had a bigger run in WWE, but I don't care. Dusty still owned the hell out of that gimmick though. Like, and
Oh,
he
no
was
doubt.
over it.
Yeah, even if they weren't Vince creations, they still did their thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We do have a lot of bad wrestling films that have come out in the past, but I don't remember any of them. Well, a few. Santa's Slay, I believe,
No Holds Barred.
was the Goldberg bad horror film, if I
Yeah.
recall.
The
It's not the
opening scene
worst
was like
thing I've ever seen in the world, but it's not amazing. It's bad, and it is horror-esque, so we could have discussed that, but I think we did that last year for like a horror Christmas episode or something, and I think, John,
Yeah,
maybe you were
I think we did. I
you
believe
were
we did.
part of that at some point, yeah,
But, yeah.
which makes sense to me. Let me bring up some more comments here really quickly. Let's see. So Frank was asking about the costume. Mr. Sean says best worst film. I would give that to Manos, Hands of Fate.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of that. That movie is unwatchable.
Sammy says my first kiss was a French dude. In parts.
Oh, wonderful.
What parts
Oh,
of
wonderful.
him? Sammy. Oh wait, no. In Paris. Okay, in Paris. So yeah, she wants me to paint her like a French girl, like one of my French girls, Kevin. The character Virgil was also a dig at Dusty Rhodes whose real first name was Virgil.
That's true.
It was.
This
Virgil,
magazine
Virgil
retrieval.
Reynolds. Virgil Reynolds. That's true.
Really, I didn't know it was a dig at him, though.
Hmm.
What a jerk. That guy's a jerk, huh?
Well, he's paying the price now. Finally.
Very true.
Let's see.
Wait, is he? How is it? What happened?
Well, he's finally been permanently removed from WWE, especially after they sold themselves or combined with the UFC, this new company that was put together. And then, he's been getting in trouble with all these women allegations of abusing women and whatnot, and so now he's permanently out.
Not surprising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It just took a long time to finally take him down.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to bring this one up because I want to argue against it.
Okay.
All right, so first of all, this was a film by Jonathan Landis, and everybody loved it. The practical effects on the transformation were spectacular, and that would be an American Werewolf in London. Now, many, 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 many years ago, by probably at least 12, 13, 14 years, something like that, maybe a little bit longer, and we get an American Werewolf in Paris. And people seem to not take well to it. I thought it was great. So, Kevin, John, Chris, one of you
Around
probably
97. Good luck.
chose this
27.
film as one of a bad sequel. So, please explain to me what's so terrible about this sequel.
That was you, John.
No, I didn't pick this. I've only seen this movie one time in my entire life. I don't remember shit from it except for I don't know. I can't even tell you the hell's in it, to be honest with you. Was this a sequel though, or was it like its own thing? I don't remember that.
It was kind of a. It wasn't so much of a sequel as it was a reimagining. They were kind of bringing it back, but it was supposed to be like an American Werewolf in London, only it's American Werewolf in Paris. And then
Honestly, I'd have to read because it's been years.
Thomas Everett Scott was the lead in this one. Him and Julie Delpy,
Delpy, something.
Julie
Delpy.
Delpy.
Did they kind of tell the
C'est quoi?
same story as American Werewolf? in
Exactly.
London,
Yeah. A group of carousing American tourists is taking a cultural landmark of Paris in when a chance encounter results in sightseer Thomas Everett Scott's character, Andy McDermott, saving the life of Parisian Seraphine Pignot, played by Julie Delpy, while on a date at a nightclub where Seraphine. Andy is then suddenly attacked and bitten by a werewolf. The next day, he discovers that Seraphine is also a lycanthrope and that he is beginning his own grueling transformation into one of the fanged beasts. So basically, they're at the Eiffel Tower and they witness her trying to jump off. They were actually going to go bungee jumping off the Eiffel Tower because back then you could do whatever the hell you wanted, apparently, on any type of building. So they were going to bungee jump off it. That was part of their whole thing. They were the hardcores. They were going to do whatever they wanted, And Thomas Everett Scott sees this beautiful woman standing at the ledge, and he's like, oh, what is she thinking? What is she feeling? I must paint her like one of my French women. And she jumps, and he's like, no! So he has the bungee strapped to his leg, and he jumps after her then to try to grab her. But he's not latched to anything. The bungee's just there. So his two friends are panicking and trying to struggle to grab the cord and tie it off in time before he reaches her or the bottom. And luckily they're able to hold it and tie and kind of pulley it around a bar up on the top of the tower in order to balance it so he can grab her. And he grabs her. She falls, but as he's holding her, so she only falls a few feet. And he has her shoe, and he flies back up with her shoe. And, so it's very Cinderella, very American Werewolf in London, but also very good. It's just the effects are all CGI. Like, most of it is CGI. So the werewolf transformations and stuff are primarily CGI. So it's not, now that it's dated as fuck, it's not nearly as cool. So American Werewolf in London has actually aged better than an American Werewolf in Paris. But let's see what people in the chat say here. Let's see. Magazine Retriever says the character Virgil. Okay, there we go. Del Mountain says we never got to see an American Werewolf in Johannesburg because political instability interfered with the production. I didn't know we were going to get an American Werewolf in Johannesburg.
I think the one they want to do now is in Rome, American Werewolf in Rome. I think that might be the next one they might be working on.
That would be cool. I'd love to see another one.
But in Italia, in Italy.
Interesting.
I liked all the performances. There's a couple characters in here that I very much enjoyed. And let me see if I can pull up the names here. Phil Buckman, who played Chris in it, and Vince Veloof, who played Brad. Phil gets like tied up in the basement, and there's like Julie's dad is like half alive. He's missing his lower half, and she keeps him down in the basement. And he turns every full moon, and then he turned and tries to attack this character Chris down in the basement. So that's a really cool scene, actually. That one, I think they did use practical effects, and if they didn't, it still looks really cool. In Vince Veloof, that guy you might recognize from Rat Race, who played the guy that he's put a thing in his tongue, but he did it himself, and it's infected, and it made him talk like this through the whole film. And his brother was Seth Green. So if you remember Rat Race, that's him. And he plays the friend that gets killed. So now he comes back as a ghost with a slash on his face and his neck.
I was going to ask you if it's a zombie type friend. I was going to ask that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember.
Yep.
Okay.
It was bound to happen. Hector says, American Werewolf in Compton, directed by the guy who made Leprechaun in the Hood.
I mean, let's go. Let's do it.
I'm all in. When are you directing it, Hector?
Yeah.
I'll be in it. I'll be the Hood. Wait, what? You can't be a place? What? All right. So moving on. Let's bring up a few more here. Let's see if there's another one that I don't agree with, but I actually mentioned it myself because I saw it on somebody's list online and I was like offended by it.
Which one's this?
I don't know if it got put in here. No, I don't see it in here.
Which one was it?
It was Gremlins 2?
Oh no, I never put that in there.
No, you never put that in there. Okay.
I like
So,
it, too.
one that I mentioned before that I mentioned to you, Kevin, so I thought you'd put it in there, was Gremlins 2. Gremlins 2 got cited as being a big misstep from the first one. Of course, they never made a third one, and so a lot of people think it's because Gremlins 2 was so bad they never made a third. But Gremlins 2 was such a departure from Gremlins 1, particularly because when Joe Dante directed Gremlins 1, he made it a horror film. It is a horror film. Gremlins 1 is a horror film. It is not a kid's film at all. It has...
And a Christmas story.
It's, yeah, and a Christmas movie. But it has these childlike elements to it, but they turn very dark. And that's what Joe Dante does best. He does something that's normal, that's very innocent, and turns it on its heel. He did that with The Burbs, if you think about that. You know, The Suburbs, a very normal, traditional town, and then there's supposed to be some killers next door. You know, and then all the neighbors get together. And by the way, The Burbs is one of my favorites when it comes to horror. I just watched that on Saturday. I watched The Burbs. Saturday and Sunday, I believe, of this past weekend.
Yeah, wasn't it ranked like your number one or something like that last week?
Yeah. Last week, I think I ranked it as no, I don't think it was my number one. Number one was Monster Squad, but it was like 2 or 3. I think I had it in as, just really good horror comedy. And it's a great horror comedy. Gremlins isn't so much horror, Gremlins 2 anyway, as it is comedy. We get a lot of comedy in Gremlins 2 to try to, and I feel like they realized, oh shit, we're on to something here. Kids like Gremlins. And they want to buy Gremlins. So let's create a ton of different Gremlins so we can mass produce these toys of different Gremlins so kids will buy them. And when they did that, unfortunately, they diluted the franchise because they pissed off all the fans of the first one that wanted that darker, more horrific tone. And it wasn't there. So while Gremlins 2 is not a bad film in any way, shape, or form, in my humble opinion, it should technically qualify as kind of a disgrace to the first one, just based on their overall decision to make it more kid-friendly, I guess.
And remember, Key and Peele made fun of this in one of their episodes.
Oh, they absolutely did, yeah.
And everything they said was absolutely correct. They actually did put it all in the movie. Hulk Hogan, breaking the fourth wall.
Mm-hmm. Frank says, the gremlin that was infused with spider DNA creeped me out. Yeah, me too. I love that one, though, because it gave the opportunity for Gizmo to dress up as Rambo and use a paper clip, a rubber band, and I think a flaming Q-tip to fire it at the spider in its web. I think that's what happened. And so it created another cute Gizmo opportunity and another costume change for Gizmo, and another sale can take place.
Yeah. Yes.
It was very, very much product placement at that point, and that was I think the saddest thing. I still enjoy it to this day. Don't get me wrong, but I would have liked a darker tone still. Mr. Sean says, my personal favorite Joe Dante film is Matinee. However, The Burbs is terrific. Yeah, I very much enjoyed Matinee. I thought Matinee was very, very clever, very well done. And if you've ever gone to the silent movie theater and you've ever seen a, what was it? It was The Tingler with Vincent Price. And by the way, I have several Vincent Price pieces up on the wall this evening for our Halloween episode. We've got the classic portrait one. I love this one with the bat and stuff in the outline and the shadow. I think it's just perfect photography. Photography at its best right here. I'm always in awe at this photo, and it inspires me every time I look at it. And then this piece here, who is done by Jean VP, I think is his name. He did this piece, and I purchased this at, I think it was like a Long Beach Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con years ago. And he was so nice to sign it for me and everything, and invited me actually to his house to watch horror films, because we got into such a fun conversation about the old Sinbads and Jason and the Argonauts and things like that. With the conversation that he invited me to come watch things like Wolfman and stuff like that. And I never took him up on the offer, but I should have, because he was a really cool dude. But so the Vincent Price Tingler at the silent movie theater reminds me of Matinee, because they wired certain seats in order to vibrate during certain scenes within the film. And they showed it at the silent movie theater in Los Angeles. This is probably like 10 years back, maybe 8. And they showed it in the traditional manner, where they stopped the film and there's a shriek, and it's the nurse in the film, but the nurse is in the theater. So there's a woman dressed up as the nurse in the theater, and she runs through the theater screaming and runs back out, and then the film restarts. Nice. And then a seat vibrates and the Tingler attacks again. And it's so fun to experience that.
Have you ever seen Popcorn? It's similar to that.
Like, what is it?
Yeah, it's a movie called Popcorn. It came out in the 90s.
No, I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's real similar to that. They do like an all-night horror-thon matinee at the theater, and they rig the seats with like the shocking stuff. They put like the one of the movies is something about like a stench, and like they put like a smell tablet through the thing, and one of them's like a big mosquito, and they have like a big mosquito rigged up to fly through the theater and stuff. It was kind of cool, man. Like,
that is really cool.
It's a cool. Yeah, it's a real cool movie. It's a horror movie, but it's a lot of fun.
Okay, Popcorn.
Yep, it's on. I want to say it's on Screambox.
Did the VHS or DVD case have? It was like a popcorn box, and there was like eyeballs in it, and there was like a skull hand reaching for it.
Give me 2 seconds. I have it right in front of me, and I can grab it for you. And I'm pretty sure that's the cover.
Do it up, dude. I'm excited about this. I look like somebody's grandma. I just realized that. Right? Don't I look like somebody's grandma? Kind of. Hi, dear. I made you some cookies. They're butterscotch chip. I hope you enjoy.
This is the cover that I have.
That's pretty close. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And then the tagline was "Buy a bag, go home in a box."
Yeah. Okay, now I remember that very specifically with the head cut open in the skull. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, I got it. Yeah, yeah.
Pete Wallace, Ray Walston, Tony Roberts. Like it's a fun movie. It's one of those ones that you either know it and you don't, but it's I've always liked it. I want to say it came out in 93. I want to say
Mm-hmm.
91. Sorry,
91. Okay, well, that makes sense. Around that time. 91, 92, 93. I would have guessed that. I definitely would have guessed that as far as the timeline for that. Yeah, a lot of fun. Okay, so let's talk about... We'll bring up a few more. We've got time.
What about some of the terrible Friday the 13th movies?
Well, you want me to bring up the Crispin Glover?
Yes. You got to show the Crispin Glover gift. Oh, my God.
There he is.
Oh, my Lord.
I have enough bandwidth today to play it, so there we go, guys. Enjoy.
There it is. Man.
I'm going to bring it up
First time I saw
even
that,
larger.
Oh, my God.
For all your enjoyment there. There you go.
Oh, this is some beautiful entertainment.
Is he
if there
having a
was any.
seizure?
I don't know if he was doing cocaine before.
Did
he
they
shot
let
the scene.
Michael J. Fox loose? I'm sorry.
It's funny. This movie came out
I'm
one
so
year before
sorry.
Back to the Future. Came out 1 year before Back to the Future. It's from Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Damn.
I mean, when I saw that, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And he was doing this. He was doing this to impress a girl that he wanted to dance with, and wow.
Yes.
But here's the funny thing: he got the girl. He did get the girl.
He did. He actually did. He did.
Yeah.
You know what? There's one on this list that I got to talk to you about, Kevin, because it hurt my
What's
soul,
that?
man. It hurt
What's
my
that?
soul.
What's that?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
Okay, gonna move
Well-
on here. Let me pull that out.
It's there, but you know what? 3's there as well. So 3, I was trying to be merciful with 3.
Oh, that one hurt my soul, man. Like, that is my...
Okay, I'm
pleasure.
pulling up. Are we pulling up part 2?
Yeah, put part 2 and part 3 up. Why not?
Okay, let's do 2 first. Is 2 the one where they did the Breakfast Club shot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Why?
Yes, it is. It's
I don't
hilarious.
get it.
It's hilarious.
I think it was just something fun to do, honestly. I don't know. I love that one. I think, to me, it's just a fun sequel. Like, obviously, the original's what it is. I think it's fun for what it was. I enjoy the original. The part 2 has always been my favorite. I don't know why.
Really?
I just,
See, for
like,
me, I guess after part 1, part 2 is too. It's getting too comedic in many ways.
oh yeah, it's got some comedy to it for sure. Yeah.
And Dennis Hopper, you know, he's a cool character and all, but at the same time, it's like, you know, and the whole thing with the chili contest that they're involved in. You know, the older family member, and as you can see there.
That was his thing. He was running his meat, which you know where that meat comes from. So you
Yeah.
don't want that chili.
Yeah.
But honestly, though, the more these movies go on, the weirder the family gets. Like part 3, same thing. The next generation, which was completely like, what the hell is going on here?
Okay, I'm gonna
And
pull
they
up part
were
3.
ran by, like,
Part 3 had Vigo in it. Vigo Mortensen.
Which one am I pulling up here? I've got Texas The Next Generation, and I've got Fast Club Spoof. Breakfast Club Spoof. That's the one.
Oh yeah,
That's the cover.
That's the picture. Yeah, it's the picture.
That's
You
the
wanted
picture
put
to
that
the sequel, to the second one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's that
Yeah.
guy off to the right? Is that what's his name? In the bow tie.
I think that's the cook, the older guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's the one who cooks the chili.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, for me, it's always been, I have to watch it every October movie. Like, I have to.
Really?
Yeah, I have to, man. Yes. I can't explain to you why. I just think it's a fun ass movie. I really do.
I mean, it does
Now-
look like they had a lot of fun posing for this.
Oh, you can tell.
Actually, they did, yeah.
All right, I'm pulling up
then
the third picture now.
The cool, you get Chop Top for the first time, which is a fun ass character too.
Is that the
Yeah,
one that
Tom-
was laying
Tom-
down?
No. He's the one like in the middle with like barely hair. His skin is very like pale.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure the one, because I can't see the picture, but I'm pretty sure the one laying down is the dead body, right? That's
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Grandpa or something. Dead Grandpa.
You've seen the original, right?
Yes, I have.
Remember the hitchhiker character?
Yeah.
That's actually him, but that's his dead body.
Oh, okay.
And Bill Moseley's basically supposed to be like his brother, basically. That's how that works.
All right.
And then, of course, can't forget Grandpa, who's like
Oh, yeah.
somehow-
Yeah. Grandpa throughout all those movies is about 500 years old, but he's still alive somehow.
Yeah,
He's,
somehow, some way.
yeah.
What's all that chili?
And
Yeah.
Donald, you remember years ago when we met the Gumby creator briefly?
Yep.
Literally, he reminded me of the grandpa from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Man,
I
so
was
sad.
I was so disturbed by that. It was like the man was barely alive, and like someone had to move his hand to do autographs. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
It was like dead silence. What the hell? He was like, what's going on there?
Seriously, that's why I think both of us got out of line because we felt bad. Like, nah, I don't want to participate in this. You know?
Man,
Yeah.
that's sad.
Yeah.
So I have
that
the
is-
Next Generation pulled up with looked like Matthew McConaughey
Yes.
and
Matthew McConaughey and
Renee
Zellweger.
Zellweger was in that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before they became big, they were in this movie. So sure enough, when they did blow up in Jerry Maguire and Time to Kill, all of a sudden the producer and distributors movie said, "Oh, let's get this out there on VHS and let people know, hey, you know."
And
So,
didn't
they wanted the benefit
shit
from
about
this.
that movie. Nothing. They didn't want to mention that movie or nothing, man. No,
Nope.
not at all.
Nope.
Uh,
They need the paycheck.
It was a weird movie, man. I mean, it was your classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre style type of film, but it was really weird when that like random dude showed up at the end. You remember what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And he had like that weird ass like, I don't know, man, like drawings, but it was like cut into his skin type of like. Where the hell did he even come from? Like, I don't even understand that whole thing. It was the weirdest.
Weird.
I don't know what that was, but it was very strange.
Yeah, it's just bizarre.
Very.
So which one is this? Is this like the fourth or fifth? Or?
Yeah, it's the fourth one.
It's the fourth one. Yeah.
So they only made 4 and then they rebooted it with
Yes.
Yeah, the 2000s. Yeah.
yeah. And they made 2 of those reboots, right?
Yep.
So there's been 6 Texas Chainsaw Massacre films.
No, because there was the Netflix one that came out last year, I believe.
Yeah. it was
Really?
Last year, the year before. Last year, the year before.
So
Yeah.
that one. No, I'm sorry. Time out. Let me go back here because after the reboots, they did Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, which was supposed to be the sequel to the original movie, and then
And
they
there's the beginning.
right. Yeah, well, that was part of the remakes. So
Oh,
there
that's
was
right. That's right.
Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. Then there was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, which was supposed to be your original sequel, where they actually brought back the house and everything. It made it look really cool. But like Bill Moseley played the cook, and then Gunnar Hansen was actually in it too as part of the family. So it's kind of and Grandpa, the original Grandpa, came back and played Grandpa again. So it's kind of cool to get those.
And he
characters.
didn't need makeup this time.
Honest to God, dude, he really didn't barely anything on him. He looked like just like John Dugan. I was like, oh well, shit, that's the guy. You know, like
Crazy.
he was at that point. And then they made the Netflix one, which was essentially supposed to be the sequel to the first one. So it's like Halloween. You have to watch it in like timelines because it's very strange how they do it.
Okay. Gotcha.
But yeah, it's different.
So the Netflix show is okay. It's just different. Or the movie.
So it was essentially he was like it was like Old Man Logan. He was Old Man Leatherface. That's exactly what he was.
Yeah.
And immediately within like maybe 5 to 10 minutes in the movie, you see his face, which you never really get to see a lot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he was, if I remember right, they were trying to get the old woman that was pretty much his caretaker, I think, kicked out of her house. And I think they ended up killing the poor lady. And then he just, of course, snapped back into his old Leatherface ways and started killing folks.
Mm.
It was interesting. The ending surprised me. I was kind of shocked at the overall ending of it. I was like, was not expecting that. But they tried to do the Sally Hardesty character coming back after all these years, and it was just it was kind of an almost like Jamie Lee Curtis coming back to Halloween, but it was
Cool
very
but sad.
yeah, like she came back and then she went bye-bye. It was like, oh, that was quick and pointless. It just didn't make a lot of sense, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, they had actual Marilyn Burns before she passed away. She had a small scene in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. She was like, she ended up being his caretaker type of. So she wasn't the character she was obviously in the original, but she played almost like his caretaker at that point in time. And it was interesting to see her back in the movie too. So
Nice.
they get the little nods to stuff, you know.
Which horror film franchise has the most films in its franchise?
Oh man,
Wouldn't it be Friday the 13th technically?
I think
So-
Halloween, maybe.
Halloween's catching up. It's getting there.
so I
You
want
know
to say
what?
Halloween's 13 now. I think.
You think so? So let's think about it for a second.
Yeah, with everything, I'm pretty sure there's 13 now.
8.
Trying to think.
That's right, because the Rob Zombie ones, you got to throw
Uh-huh.
those two as
Yeah.
well.
Those, and then there's 3 Blumhouse versions too. So you got to go back with those too. So you got Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, 5, 6,
You
Resurrection.
know what?
8,
You're right. They're right. They're tied. 13.
Rob Zombie. Then you got Rob Zombie 2. Then you got the 3 Blumhouse. So actually, what? Yeah. And then I want to say Friday the 13th.
That's
If you
13.
count-
If you count Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
Actually,
So
you know
that's
what?
fair.
Those are actually number 3 and 4 on the list. Number 1
Well-
on the list for most horror movies in a horror franchise is Dracula.
True. If you count Dracula, because there's so many different
And-
iterations.
And then also number 2 is Puppet Master.
Oh no
That's
shit.
right. That's right. Puppet Master
Okay.
has so many of those.
Or a lot
Okay.
of-
Yeah.
Full Moon Entertainment. I like those
By the way, Mr. Sean says that is so cool about that showing of The Tingler. Matinee was definitely a tribute to William Castle and Dante's old boss Roger Corman. Director John Sayles is also in Matinee. Yeah, I remember it. John Goodman was fantastic. It was a great. I thought honestly, I was a little younger, so I thought it was going to be a straight comedy, and it wasn't at all. And that's what kind of shocked me and threw me, put me aback with it. But I think looking back now, I think I'd have a better appreciation for something like that, For sure. I think I'd appreciate that a little more. There we go. Now we'll go this way for a little bit.
Donald, it's another one that you asked me to put on the list. I want to see why you don't like this movie so much. Oh, what are you doing?
What?
Jeepers Creepers 2. You have some beef with that movie.
Yes, I do. Yes. Because I think it's the best one of the franchise. And we, yes, I know the guy's a pederast. I get it. We all know that now. He's not a good dude. But everybody is supposed to be able to get usually a second chance, and I don't know how I believe on that, and I don't want that to be the subject of this. So let's move on from that and just talk about the film itself. So Jeepers Creepers.
Is that the one in the cornfield?
Yes, with the
Yes.
cornfield in the school bus. This one
Yeah,
took
I like that one. That
a
was good.
fun turn. The first one, straight horror. Justin Young, right?
Justin Long, yeah.
Justin Long. Okay, Justin Long. I always get those guys confused.
Justin Young is the we used to work with.
I know. I always get him confused with Justin Long. So Justin Long, this is his first real dive into horror and kind of where he winds up for the most part in his future career.
Scream King.
Yeah, really. So in the first one, it's just a very traditional, I'm being chased and it's just me and, my girlfriend or whatever, and then it's just me and blah, blah, blah. The second one, they expand the cast. It's a whole bus full of school kids. And they make the Jeepers Creepers, more of a I'm going to toy with you type character rather than straight horror. So he's having fun with his meals. It's like playing with your food. And I very much enjoyed that. I thought the second one was a much needed addition to the franchise because I would not have seen any more of them if it wasn't for the second one. The first one came out and I was very hesitant about that second one.
Don't watch past the second one though. If you did, I'm sorry.
I did.
How
It's
many
bad.
are there?
4?
Essentially, there's 4. Essentially, there is the third one, which I think they had a $2 budget on that movie, and I'm not trying to be shitty, but my God, man, they gave you opportunity to finally show you what the hell he was, where he came from. So what happens is there's twice in this movie that you get a flashback, but you don't get the scene, just the character does, and you're supposed to say, oh, well, cool, what did they see? We don't know because they don't show it to the audience at all.
Nope.
And then there's Jeepers Creepers Reborn, which was literally filmed on a green screen. You can see it, and it's fucking awful. Just awful.
Yeah.
Listen, if you watch any of those movies, just watch 1 and 2 and stop there.
Yep.
No more.
Yep.
That's it.
Agreed.
Well, then how did 2 get put on the list but not 3 and 4?
I mentioned 3, I believe, but I don't
No,
think.
you mentioned 2. That's the one you gave me.
Well, I mentioned 2 as something I wanted to argue for.
Oh.
But 3, 3's terrible. The one thing I did like about 3 was we got the defense mechanisms for the truck itself. I thought that was cool. It was kind of like the Batmobile. You know how like when the Batmobile parked in an alley and he put the thing on and like he had all the defense mechanisms and people were trying to break into it and shit and it would electrocute them or something would push them back or something. Same thing with the Jeepers Creepers mobile, the big truck thing. The SUV type vehicle. So they would try to break into the police and stuff, and it just would launch stuff out and things, and like spikes would come out of it and kill people and stuff. I thought that was a very original, very clever concept, and I really enjoyed that. Everything else about that film, though, was absolute trash. Absolute. They put every dime they had into that truck and was like, this is going to be what carries us. And it's very clever, and it's very smart, and it's very well done, but the rest of the film suffers because of that. You know, they used all their budget on that. And that's unfortunate that they didn't get any more money. But the problem is when you take somebody that is very controversial and you continue to let them do their version or their vision in this, people stop wanting to invest. So the budget, as the word got out, got smaller and smaller and smaller. So now we're to the point where it needs to be where he needs to just go, I know this is my baby, but I want it to succeed, so I'm going to hand it off to somebody that can really do something with it. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Collect your check, for selling the rights or whatever you have to do, or releasing them, and move on. And maybe create something else on down the line.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do one more, I think, and then we're probably going to call it an evening. How about that?
What about some of those Halloween sequels I had there? Like Halloween 6?
Oh, the girl in the movie was his sister. Okay, thank you, Sammy.
Okay. I saw some of those, and I was waiting for this. much like...
I prefer Halloween 6, the producer's cut.
Which one's 6?
6 with Paul Rudd.
The Curse of Michael Myers?
Yes.
No. Yes, the Curse of Michael Myers.
I like that one.
That's the one with Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the producer's cut is the better cut.
Hey, Loomis is in this one still.
So, all right. I think the producer's cut is cool. To me, it's like a whole nother movie. You literally get a whole nother ending. You get a whole nother scenario in the beginning that doesn't even. So in the theater version, Jamie, who's not really Jamie because it's not played by the same girl, but what have you, whatever.
Danielle Harris. Right. Yeah.
Michael kills her in this barn, but then in the producer's cut, she doesn't die. Then eventually Thorne just shows up and shoots her, and it's like, well, holy shit! Like this is a whole nother movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like them both. I'm not gonna lie. See, I'll defend Halloween until I'm blue in the face, and that's just me. But I don't know, man. I like both versions, but I do like that they took and just did a complete 360 with that producer's cut, because a lot of people haven't seen it. When you tell them there's a producer's cut, they're like, wait, what's that? And I'm like, it's like a whole other movie, man. Like, you're getting different stuff.
And that's my preference. I prefer that cut. I think the original cut is, the interfered studio cut isn't that good. That's just me. That's my opinion.
So let me ask you, so what ending do you like better? Do you like the Tommy and the girl get away, and then you hear Loomis kind of scream, and you basically know what happens? Or do you like the Thorne is under the mask, and now Loomis becomes the basically the caregiver of Michael Myers, but he's taken off down the hallway leaving because he's got Thorne stuff on? Which one do you like better?
I kind of like that ending where Loomis has to take over, being the caretaker and him just freaking out.
I almost felt like when you find out that he died in real life, not too long after the production,
right?
I felt like then the ending made more sense of the theater version, because obviously it's telling you that Michael finally killed him, right?
True.
You hear that scream, Michael's body isn't there. Obviously he showed up, he killed poor Dr. Loomis, and that's what you're left with, right?
Right.
And you see that producer's cut, and it's like, oh shit, it's a complete opposite of that. So I think that's probably why they didn't use that ending, because then he passed away, and how the hell would you tell that story,
Right.
It would be hard.
In that respect, then, because I figured this is where you were going. If you wanted to switch the endings and put that on the producer's cut, the original cut ending, just because of what happened in real life, then right. I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Right, because you figure in the beginning of H2O, when the nurse comes back from part 1 and 2, she has essentially been taking care of him all those years, and he just passed away. That's how they
Right.
told the story, you know,
Right.
which is cool. But you couldn't do anything with the character unless you brought someone else in, like they did, like in the Blumhouse stuff with the flashback scenes. So
Right.
I think it was taken care of nicely as far as his character goes. I mean, you think about it. Yeah, he passed away in part 6, but they still made him kind of an important character in H2O,
Yeah.
which was
They made him relevant. They made him relevant.
Dumb question. Does Halloween H2O, is it like have anything to do with water at all?
No.
It's
No.
basically just telling you that it's the 20-year anniversary from '78, and that came out in '98.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
But we had Halloween Resurrection on there too, and I 100% agree with you with that.
Uh-huh.
The first 15 minutes was phenomenal, right? I love that. I love the part where Michael kills her, and then he goes and gives the knife to the dude with the clown mask, and he's literally explaining Michael Myers as he walks down the hallway. I love it. I think that's a cool ass scene. Now, when you go into the other part of the movie, I see what they were going for. They were going for what was popular in that time, right? The
Right.
it shows like the live streaming shit that's going on in the spooky house, right?
Right.
So, hey, let's make a show about the house of Michael Myers, and they set a bunch of stupid little traps, and some of that stuff you saw was legit. Some of it obviously was fake. So you kind of learned a little bit about Michael Myers in that movie, but at the same time, you know what was stupid and what wasn't. And I'm not going to lie, as much as people hate it, Busta Rhymes wearing the Michael Myers mask was hilarious. I don't care. That was funny as hell. That was funny as hell.
Hello, Buster Rhymes.
No,
Plus,
that was hilarious. I love it.
plus, the other thing I don't understand, that's what I was confused about. Michael Myers at this point has pretty much completed his mission. That's it. Why are you still killing, man?
I think essentially because, again, you're at his house. And I think that's like something, if you think about it,
It's sacred. Yes, it's sacred. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
like what Blumhouse did with theirs, like Michael always goes back home, you know, like he always ends up going back home. Well, you and this is on there too, so we might as well jump into that. Halloween Ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
His house in that movie they say was torn down. Okay, you don't see it or nothing. They just tell you that the house was demolished basically in all that time span. So where does Michael end up? Living in a sewer. So now he's got to find a place to go. He's been beaten to hell, so he's like beat up. He's got infections in his body and stuff. The dude's ready. He's ready to die, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then random little nerdy kid who's basically based off of what's his Arnie from Christine, which is basically what the base his character off of. Finds Michael Myers, and it almost is like he looks into the kid's soul and sees that he's just as fucked up as he is. Basically, you know, he's been blamed for killing that little boy in the beginning of the movie, and for some reason, this kid becomes Michael Myers-esque. Now that part was beyond me, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, like his apprentice or something.
Yeah, it's like a spirit passed through him or some shit. It was
Right.
weird.
Exactly. Yeah. But to backtrack real quick, because Halloween Kills was on there too, I like that one. I know everybody's gripe was Evil Dies Tonight, and I say it like 29 times in the movie. But I thought like the action of that movie was really good. Like you got to see all the cool returning characters. Majority of them died, which kind of sucked, but you know, you got to see them come back for one big hurrah. But Ends was tough, man. Ends was a very tough pill to swallow.
I know, because it was pretty definitive. If there ever was ever a movie that was definitive, that was it.
Like, listen, we were watching that in the theater, and he's on the damn thing, and she's about to kick him in, and I'm thinking, please just grab her and put her in there with you. Please, and he didn't do it, man. And I'm like, wait, he's not gonna. Oh, and then you see that final like smash
Yep.
of the, you're like, well, that's it.
Yep, he's done. He's done.
That sucked, man. Like I was
Um,
bummed.
Unless they pull a Friday the 13th type thing. where
They're
he
gonna have that
transfers
kid.
His
Oh,
essence somewhere.
That's what it is. The spirit of him is going to be in that kid.
See, some random little bum's gonna pick up a piece of him and just eat it. And they were like, oh shit, I'm Michael Myers now. And that's just,
It's like Jason Goes to Hell, which, by the way, that's on there too. Like Jason Goes to Hell,
You
which is the dumbest thing ever.
my only nod to Jason Goes to Hell that I thought was really cool was they referenced the Youngstown morgue, where they put that in the movie. Which when I went to go see that in the theater, I thought that was just something they did in every city. I thought it was like a gimmick, right?
Mm.
So I remember renting it when it came out, and I was like, oh shit, it still says Youngstown. I was like, how cool is that? You know, we don't get referenced a lot. So it was kind of nice.
The only good thing about Jason Goes to Hell was the beginning of the movie. It was like, what took you so long to actually execute this type of plan to take the dude down?
Yeah, and they fucked him up.
Oh,
Hey,
they
I
sure
heard
did.
I should watch Jason X. Is that true?
Dude, it's fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's not
It's
great.
better than this. I'll say that.
I heard that you just shouldn't create it as like in your mind as canon, and just
No.
enjoy it for what it is.
Yes, 100%.
And I'm
And-
okay
and
with
it-
that.
If you do that, you might like it, honestly.
Okay.
Yep.
But we had one more on the list too. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I did put that one on there, and I think it's just awful, man. It's awful.
Is that the one that just the movie went on like it had like 4 endings and it just went on forever?
Well, there was that white horse shit that was like the dumbest thing.
What was
basically
it?
he wanted-
What was the name of it? It was Halloween what?
It was Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have it listed as Halloween 2 with Rob Zombie's name to it, so you'll see it.
Okay.
So like I get what they were going for with it. They explained this in the opening of the movie, the white horse thing and all that other shit. To me, it was just a reason to put his wife back in the movie, honestly. And then for years, I never knew this. There was one day a friend of mine were talking, and he said, "Have you ever watched the DVD?" And I said, "No, dude, I have it at the house. Like I bought it to complete my collection because I'm just a completist, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "No, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. You never popped it in." He goes, "Watch it," and I was like, "Okay." He goes, "Just watch it and see what happens." So I popped this thing in. Sure enough, there's a scene where Michael is stabbing Dr. Loomis, and he screams, "Die!" And I was like, "Wait, did he just fucking talk? Did they do that?" I was furious, man. I was like, "Can't do that. Can't." This blew the whole like mystique of his character. He's
It's like
so-
Jason. It's like Jason talking.
yeah,
Jason,
man.
Jason doesn't talk either.
Mm-mm.
I was so pissed when I watched that. I was like, "Oh man, no, that just ruined it for me." I didn't like it already, but then I saw that, and I was like, "Well, I hate it. You can't do that, man. You just can't."
Mm-mm.
But you're right. That adds to the mystique. It's like
Right.
that the mask itself is what's scary. Number one, you
Yes.
don't know what that dude's thinking behind that mask and what his intentions are. That's what makes it so frightening.
I don't knock what's his name. I don't why did his name just like completely go out of my head right now? The guy that played him in Rob Zombie's versions. Man, he used to be a
The
Oh,
wrestler.
Loomis.
No. The wrestler.
Oh.
It's like Tyler something.
Tyler Mane. Yes.
Tyler Mane. Yeah.
I don't knock him. The dude played a phenomenal Michael Myers. He was too big, I think, but he played a good. He was like a bigger, evil, just big ass tough Michael Myers, like, which was cool. Don't get me wrong. I dug that, but it just I don't know, man. It took me a long time to like the first one, and it took me I want to say 3 or 4 times of watching that to realize that okay, stop comparing it to the original movie because nothing's ever going to be that.
Right.
Watch it for what it is. It was very white trash and vulgar, but the backstory was the coolest part of that because we never got that really. I mean, let's be honest. When Carpenter made Halloween, he did no intentions whatsoever of making Halloween 2.
Nope.
But money will change that, and that's what happened. And then they came up with the brother-sister storyline, and then Halloween 3 happened, and they got rid of Michael Myers, and then people were pissed, and they brought back Michael Myers. in Halloween
And
4.
I was talking about this over the weekend. It was meant to be an anthology series after
Yeah.
that. Because if you think about it, use common sense. Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis died in part 2. There's no way you're coming back from that.
No, and that's where like the almost like your kind of supernatural stuff started coming in. Like, okay, what is Michael? Is he human? Is he not? Because you're stabbing him, and you're shooting him, you're setting him on fire, and the dude's still coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina
So it was
just popped in and she said, "Thank goodness I didn't miss Chris in a toga." It's true. It's true. He looks even better when I put these on. Hubba hubba.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dr. Sabrina.
That's what usually happens in the movies. They had to edit it out, but like in the original Star Wars, it would say "power on" before the lightsaber would. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Does it literally? Can you shut that off?
It's an AI system, man.
It seriously says that every time?
No. What happens is if I'm not using it for a while, I'll say power off. But for me, just to activate it initially, it'll say power on. But then when you turn it off, it'll turn off on its own. You won't hear it say power on or power off. It's just a different frequencies. That's all. Different
What
frequencies.
the fuck is wrong with them? Why would they even do that? No shit, power on. It lights up. Why do you need it to say power on? You'll
don't know,
know.
man.
It's like a flashlight. Do you need your flashlight to go light turning on? No, because the light
Or-
turns on.
Or even better, you turn your car on. Car activated.
Right. Car starting now. Okay, cool. Hey, getting off my chair. Oh, guess what? You could see it. These dumb motherfuckers, I swear to God.
Shower on. You may enter and clean
Does it
yourself.
say,
Yes, I
when you
know.
turn the color, does it like change the color? Does it go, now green? Does it?
Actually, it's funny you mention it. Here's what it does.
Well, don't.
It has these different things. So different characters will say a line from them, and then it'll go to that different color.
Okay, so that's not terrible. Like,
Yeah.
I don't hate that because you get the line, and that's cool. I understand that, but that power on pisses me off. They're going to get a sternly worded letter.
Well, fine. Write to them and say, "Hey, you jackasses, why are you doing this?"
Well, I'm gonna get a petition together, and you're gonna have to sign it. You'll be the first signature.
No, I will not sign it
Why?
because.
Well, you think they're gonna take your lightsaber away?
Yes.
What are you, 12?
Yeah.
It's
I'm not gonna
extension
lose
of
it.
his penis, everybody.
Oh my.
Yeah. Sabrina says impressive lightsaber,
You're giving
Kevin.
us
Oh my God! I
pleasure.
just said extension
Thank
of his
you.
penis, and Sabrina says impressive lights. I'm so sorry. I did not mean
Whoa,
to put those
that's
two
not
together
what
like
implied.
that. Now, I mean, there's no intention there, is what I'm saying.
That was never implied.
I don't want anybody to take it that way.
That was never implied.
Now it's blue. Kevin blew himself.
Yes, I did. You got a sick mind. You know that, Donald?
I know. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
See, even Dr. Sabrina said, "Speak for yourself."
I don't see her say that. I can't see much of anything right now, to be honest. I see.
Well, take.
I'm
your
pretty sure she
spectacles off.
said, "Shake yourself. Shake yourself.
Speak for yourself.
Old. Shake yourself old." That's what it looks like to me. I can't see shit. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it, guys. I think we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much. This has been our very special Halloween episode. We are unfortunately, because I have to work 70,000 hours this week, and weekend coming, we will not be doing a Monday podcast, sadly, next Monday. So we'll
be back the following Monday, though.
back the following Monday, and I think we're thinking we're gonna roll with one more horror live show, one more horrific live show, and I think it's gonna be a battle. I think it's gonna be the battle we've talked about.
I think so. I think John was looking for that versus, right, brother?
Oh man. Well, it looks like I'm coming back then because I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I know.
So
know.
one more time, we're gonna celebrate. Yeah,
Celebrate
we're gonna
on.
add November to part of October, and we're gonna rock it out. So while we won't be here next Monday, we will be here to bring you the horror goodness the following Monday, where it will be the battle of horror characters, the horror icons.
I
Battle.
mean, it makes sense. It's the next day after that
It's
is
the election.
horrific day for somebody. So
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
So might as well
Someone's
have
gonna
some
get-
fun. Go out on a good thing. We're gonna have
Yeah.
Battle of the Horror Icons. Will be 2 weeks from today, guys. And I know that it was what's his name? Hector. Yeah, it was Hector. Hector was asking about a hot sauce giveaway. We're either going to do the hot sauce giveaway on that date, or I do have another battle in mind, and that is going to be the Battle of the Comedians.
Yeah, it's on the list. Yeah, that's on the
Yep.
list.
So we're going to be doing that at some point as well, because I would love to see the month of November be a lot of fun with just battle month. I think would be a cool idea for November battle month. So we'll see if we can roll with that. We're going to try to make sure that we can get that together, but we'll see. But anyway, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And thank you to our special guest, John, for being here. And thank you for participating in the costume contest that we did here. Who won? You, the viewers. That's who won.
That's right.
Thank you so much. And if you're feeling thirsty, perhaps you should
Have a scary, creepy, but sometimes dreadful Rumble Pop.